News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now
on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
O'Connor and Company.
It's 8:37. Larry O'Connor alongside an animated and outraged Julie Gunlock, pounding the desk and yelling into the microphone. That's exactly why you're here, Julie.
Thank you.
Bring it. Bring it.
My husband's so happy I could get this out with you.
We're just having fun watching the reactions of everybody to the to Elon Musk daring to want to stand by the idea of a free speech platform. Listen to this. This is Ari Melber on MSNBC, kind of giving away the story here.
You own all of Twitter or Facebook or what have you. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't even have to be transparent. You could secretly ban one party's candidate or all of its candidates, all of its nominees, or you could just secretly turn down the reach of their stuff and turn up the reach of something else, and the rest of us might not even find out about it till after the election.
Yeah, he knows that this could happen because that's pretty much what happened for the last several years. Carl Szabo is Vice President and General Counsel for NetChoice. He's a professor for Internet Law at George Mason's Anton Scalia Law School, and he joins us now. Professor, first, react to what you just heard on MSNBC, because a lot of us hear that and we think, well, I know you're scared that that's going to happen, but we feel that this has already been going on.
You know, I feel like we're watching a complete 180 from almost everyone on the left. You pointed out, Larry, you know, MSNBC, the Washington Post, even SNL are claiming doom and gloom, the end of democracy, comparing it to Nazi Germany. Some people are,
right.
and on the right, you're seeing a lot of Republicans and conservatives kind of do a bit of a 180 as well, where they're saying, no, this is the right of a private business to decide what type of content moderation is best for it. And I think what all of us know is that, you know, politicians will do whatever's in their best interest, but we should let the private businesses do what's in theirs. And I think that's why this is kind of a really exciting and, frankly, entertaining 180 from everyone.
I would like you to comment on something that Jen Psaki, the White House spokesperson, said yesterday on behalf of the president and therefore on behalf of the executive branch of government, which oversees the SEC and the Justice Department. So that's why this is incredibly relevant, not just a press person saying something. Here, listen.
I'm not going to comment on a specific transaction. What I can tell you as a general matter, no matter who owns or runs Twitter, the president has long been concerned about the power of large social media platforms, the power they have over our everyday lives, has long argued that tech platforms must be held accountable for the harms they cause.
Right there. Let's pause there here. Professor, when they say tech platforms should be held accountable for the harm they cause, does she mean, or can they be held accountable for the harm they quote unquote cause by allowing speech, by allowing people, even if they say something wrong or harmful? Is that really Twitter's responsibility, or Facebook, or whoever?
You know, the kind of absurdity in the statement from Press Secretary Psaki is transparent. So if I were to go out into the middle of the street and start screaming at the top of my lungs, are you going to blame the city for that? No, you blame me. You blame the speaker. It's not the platform, it's the speaker. And what's the statements? What are the comments that they are worried about? Well, it's anything that paints the administration in a bad light. So today, a lot of the major newspapers lean left, and that's a bit generous, just saying that they lean left. And so what social media has done is it's really empowered people on all sides of the aisle, whether left, right, center, anywhere, to get their voices out and be heard in a way that you don't typically see from legacy newspapers. And there's an accountability matrix being built in. And you're seeing a lot of the failures of this administration being brought to light because of social media. And that's why the powers that be, that's why the government wants to kind of impede the ability of these private businesses to operate how they want.
Well, we see more and more now that these businesses are actually doing as the government wants. I mean, we've seen this for years, and sort of the corruption of these institutions. that really become mouthpieces for the government, or essentially do the government's bidding. I think that's ultimately what Elon Musk saw here, is that these companies, including Twitter and many of these tech companies, doing the dirty work for. So what changes do you see happening from other social media platforms as Twitter sort of opens up? Do you see a liberalization happening among other tech platforms?
One of the challenges that every business, whether it's a tech platform or offline, is you are, at the end of the day, somewhat beholden to the government. If you're running a restaurant, you're worried about the health commission coming in and shutting you down. So maybe you serve that politician a nice glass of martini. And so these social media platforms are kind of facing the similar problem. What we need to do as a people is really push back when we see these types of statements from places like the White House, trying to kind of control speech, not expressly, but implicitly, by threatening SEC actions or actions from the Federal Trade Commission. We need to push back on legislation from Congress that gives more power to the federal government to have control over speech. Now, with respect to Elon Musk and his actions on Twitter, what's going to be really intriguing is his statement that he wants to break away from advertisements. So advertisements right now constitute about 90% of Twitter's total revenue. And one of the challenges that any business, whether you're online, offline, or otherwise, that uses advertisement is you are reliant on those ads and those businesses. So he's trying to even create more independence for Twitter, and I think that's really intriguing. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how he breaks away from the typical advertising model. And then finally, with respect to Elon Musk himself, I mean, you're talking about one of the smartest people on the planet, most innovative people on the planet. And the big challenge with any social media platform is called content moderation at scale. Dealing with millions and billions of posts every day, every couple of hours, and people, when they tweet, they want it up there immediately. And so the challenge is, how do you allow, legitimate speech as opposed to spam, as opposed to child predation or something like that? So that's content moderation at scale. And I think with a brain as big as Elon Musk's, maybe he has the secret sauce in there somewhere.
He's going to charge us for that edit button. I can see it coming. All right, we'll leave it there. Carl Szabo, Vice President General Counsel of NetChoice and Professor of Internet Law at George Mason's Antonin Scalia Law School.